The awards are going to be presented by Maria Miller and Geoff Thompson, who, as has already been mentioned by the Chancellor, is the new chair of the board of the governors of UEL, and they will and Geoff will speak a little bit in a moment. So to start with, you will know that this, as has already been mentioned, that these awards were started, conceived by Lord Noon. They're in their 4th years. People always say the quality of the entries is very high. Well, it was high, but more importantly, it did show that there was a lot of innovation going on around the country, particularly in relation to diversity, in relation to disparity and transparency. Also not just people talking about their own workplaces, but also exploring diversity in supply chains and amongst customers. Before announcing these winners, I'd like to thank Holman Fenwick Willan LLP for their support and in particular their kind sponsorship of the Noon Award. And we're delighted that David Robinson, board member of the Noon Centre and the partner at Holman Fenwick Willan, will present the award. So first is the Chancellor's Award, who's present the award again is now he's disappeared. Where's Shaban gone? Oh, you're going to do it, Geoff. Oh, thank you very much. Well, Geoff is going to present this award. Geoff, would you like to come up and say a couple of words? That would be great.
Thank you, Simon. We have a number of casualties at the university at the moment because it's been a very challenging and difficult year. But that's one of the 21st century challenges of a diverse campus with so many aspirational hopes, dreams and opportunities that we aim to socially and culturally and economically give a chance to compete in this ever-changing 24/7 global community. Lord Noon had a profound impact on the students of UEL and managed to inculcate a culture that suggested whatever you look like, wherever you come from, whatever you believe in and whatever you sound like, whatever your lifestyle choices are, there's some fundamentals to the hard work, a dedicated effort that's consistent and perseverant, that ultimately, if you follow your path and you have a little bit of help and support, you can actually achieve your dreams. And I think all too often we forget this is a world where dreams are still achievable as long as we remember not to become globally complacent in all things tolerant or intolerant, all things tweeted by a certain leader of the free world. But ultimately, it's about celebrating achievement and recognizing achievement and those who are still agents for change. And I'm a great believer that we have to acknowledge where possible where that work is being done and communicating it beyond an audience here with the digital interactive world that we also live in, by influenced equally by our thumbs being actively interactive, but hopefully our minds, bodies and emotional intelligence. I'll talk about that later. So these awards are very important to the University of East London. They're exceptionally important to the people who are receiving them because we hope that they will become beacons of light for those who wish to follow.
Thank you very much indeed. And to those of you who don't know Geoff about his life story, which is remarkable, and I'm sure he'll go into greater depth when he does the session. He is also 5 times world karate champion, ladies and gentlemen. So, A, don't get in a fight with him. Secondly, if anybody's got any firewood you want breaking up, well, this is your man. So, the Chancellor's Award. The first is a commended, in recognition of the Chancellor's Award, commended is IBM's Global Supplier Diversity Programme. IBM's, give them a round of applause. Where are they? Oh, fantastic. Now, IBM is commended in recognition of the particular focus they've given to tackling diversity across not only their internal structures, but throughout their supply chains, embedding change across the whole business globally. And to receive the commendation for their Global Supplier Diversity Programme is Louise Harries, who's the UK HR Services Sourcing Lead. Louise, congratulations. So the winner of the 2017 Chancellor's Award is the Community Cohesion Team at Bedfordshire Police. Now, Bedfordshire Police Community Cohesion Team received the Chancellor's Award for their work in the most difficult area of managing community tensions. In particular, with Luton in their patch, they have faced some of the most challenging situations in the UK, with issues within the Muslim community and between that community and others, particularly the targeting of Luton by the far right. They've responded by tracking incidents, measuring reported rising tensions, and engaging in depth with the BME community to help diffuse situations. That is Chief Inspector Hob Hoke of the Bedfordshire Police. Congratulations. Our second award is the Transparency Award, and commended is the Leicestershire Partnership NHS Trust. I just had a lovely note here. It says Leicestershire cannot come. Well, Leicestershire have decided to turn up. I don't think we'd have room. The whole of Leicester, that is. The Partnership NHS Trust is commended for their work on transparency in publishing data that made public some uncomfortable issues for them in order to inspire action. They identified that in an area where the Asian population is 18%, their staff are only 13% Asian, with particular underrepresentation in nursing. The Trust admitted, despite not having fully comprehensive data, non-heterosexual staff reported higher levels of bullying, and overall the data revealed issues of trust within the organisation. They had developed a comprehensive action plan and are leading the way in an increasingly challenging area of the government publication of ethnic disparity area. That is the Leicestershire Partnership NHS Trust. But the winner of the 2017 Transparency Award is the Bank of England. And that's Simon Fillery there. An iconic and leading institution in finance across the world. They're tackling deeply ingrained disparities in all aspects of staff diversity. You've heard from Simon this morning. The bank put challenging data into the public domain, drew close media scrutiny, and still embarked on a public programme of engagement and succession planning. Congratulations, Simon Fillery. Our third award is the Impact Award. Commended in this category is the Cabinet Office. Is the Cabinet Office? Yay, they're waving down there. Come up and receive it. Without using quotas or reducing the quality threshold, the Cabinet Office project has doubled and in some cases tripled candidates from underrepresented groups in the workforce applying for senior roles. They've come a long way since Yes Minister. To receive the commendation for improving diversity of participants on executive talent schemes is the Director of Civil Service Talent, Jeanette Durbin. And the winner of this year's Impact Award is AIG. AIG was the outstanding candidate according to the judges. Its work is global and includes staff progress, recruitment, supply chain and public giving, benchmarking at every level. The individual obligation placed on senior management to engage personally and mentor individuals from underrepresented staff and communities is a striking commitment and a mobilisation of the whole human capital of the business. To receive the award is Head of Diversity and Inclusion, Julie Humphreys, and her colleague, whose name, unfortunately, I don't know. Our penultimate award is for research. Commended in this category is Northamptonshire Healthcare NHS Trust. Where are they? Are you here, Northampton? Is that you? Where are you? Ah, come forward, come forward. Don't sit at the back. When you put, no, I mean now. You know. Now, the Trust have used research to reach out to the experience of users to tackle disparities in an area for too long ignored, the experience of black and minority ethnic people with mental health. The Trust adopted a participatory action research approach which engaged with patient groups. This is a strong example of equality and diversity work reaching into service performance and design through user experience. Thank you very much. That's Leicester, Northamptonshire Healthcare NHS Trust. It's called the Moving Ahead Project. And the winner of the 2017 Research Award is the Intellectual Property Office. With an excellent piece of research involving the predictive use of first names over a worldwide database of 36 million names, the IPO established that the UK gender gap in registering patents with only 7.3 of patents here registered in the name of women, was one of the most stark in the world. Less than half the proportion in Russia and lower than in France. The results are now benchmarked and progress can be measured for the first time. And you saw the IPO's senior patent examiner and informatics analyst, Christopher Harrison. Congratulations to the IPO. And finally, we come to the Noon Award, named after, as you've heard, the businessman, philanthropist, and some say the man responsible for the ubiquity of chicken tikka masala, the founder of Noon Projects, Ghulam the Lord Noon. And to present the award, we're delighted that David Robinson, a board member of the Noon Centre and a partner at Holman Fenwick Willen, is here. David, will you speak? Are you happy now?
It's a great privilege to be here. I'm not in a position in these words to say who the winner is, because that's Simon's job, I think. Now, as you may have noticed, my name is David Robinson, and I am a partner in a law firm.
Well, the law firm we work with, David, I think shot two of their partners to bring the numbers down, so do be careful.
Simon used the same statistics last year, and so I've actually come today with news. And that is in Holman Fenwick Willen worldwide, we're all across the world dealing in trade and stuff. We have 9 David partners. That's David with David in their names. Mine's a second name, actually. We have 23 women partners. Now, just to show there is a movement, this time last year, there were then 9 David partners. We haven't shot any, and we had 18 lady partners. So we've gone from 18 to 23 while keeping the David static. Now, I can't give you statistics like that without some honesty and transparency. We have 165 partners. So Catherine Hull, our diversity champion in the back there, and I have got work to do in increasing the number of lady partners, but at the same time keeping the number of Davids static or declining. Now that's beside the point. Well, I'd like to congratulate the winner when he comes up. Of course, that winner is in excellent company. He follows in the footsteps of other great campaigners, and actually we have a number of great campaigners in this room. For example, not so far away from here, in 1792, Mary Wollstonecraft, a great campaigner, and in fact 100 years before anybody else, wrote her landmark text, A Vindication of the Rights of Women. Now, I don't know how many of you know or have read her remarkable work, or of the campaign currently underfoot to build a statue in Stoke Newington Green to commemorate her and to develop her work in education. But the phrase that stands out for me in her work is this phrase: I don't want women to have power over men, but over themselves. Now, you can apply those words, I think, to any form of activity, whether it's race. I don't want black people to have power over white people. I want black people to have power over themselves. Diversity, gender, you like it. So that's my advert for the Mary Wollstonecraft appeal, and I believe you're a supporter of it too, which is very good. Setting the Winners' Award in context, I should explain, I first came across Lord Noon, as he then was, he was playing Ghulam Noon, in 1989. And he was a remarkable entrepreneur then. He'd travelled from Bombay, a Bombay tenement, with a small suitcase. He came to England with nothing, a little cash from his father, from his mother. He worked in an Indian restaurant in Victoria. Within a few months, he started a sweet business. It's in existence today. It's called Royal Sweets, making Indian sweets and delicacies. It flourished in a modest way. And then he came upon the idea of seeing what was available in English supermarkets in the way of chilled or frozen ethnic food, of producing a chilled product that supermarkets could sell. He formed a company called Noon Products, and Noon Products grew to the enormous businesses of today, producing millions of meals a week and supplying Sainsbury's and Waitrose. I venture that most people in this room will have eaten at least one of their products once in your life. He established a company which had real family values. Now, if you have family values, you have values of love, and you embrace aspects of families, including diversity. His focus when building the business was on his workforce, who it is acknowledged that he treated as his family members. When his family when the factory in Southall burned down to the ground in 1994, he rejected the advice of his accountants to lay off the staff, and instead paid their wages from his own pocket, because he said that he couldn't have members of his workforce return home empty-handed when there were mouths to feed. Establishing the Noon Foundation from the proceeds of sale of his company, Noon set up a board of trustees, and I'm proud to have been a member of that board. And now Lord Noon died 2 years ago, and by then we'd spent out the proceeds of the foundation, and we, the trustees, have formed a new foundation. It's called the Noon Legacy Trust, and with it we are building cash in order to continue his work, but that and including the work at the University of East London. He introduced me a few years ago now, quite a few years ago, to Dr. Nora Colton. And from his office in Queen Anne's Gate, we discussed the idea, which was then a tiny acorn, of a Centre for Diversity and Equality at the UEL. And it came into being with a grant from the Noon Foundation, and now from other people too, and its work is phenomenal. I am really proud of what that has done, and I've witnessed it firsthand. I've been present when students from the unit have returned from overseas trips and made presentations on the projects that they've explored and identified. A milk project in Ghana, a library project in Bombay, and others in Europe. What struck me enormously about these presentations was the diversity of the teams. There were 10 or 12 undergraduates and graduates in these teams, and each member of the team came from their own personal background to reflect on the issues thrown up by the project. And the result was, from a business point of view, a magnificent presentation. One which, if you'd had a pure white, or a pure black, or a pure gay, or a pure, would never have ever come across in the same depth or fashion. And it really showed how business can learn from the work of the Noon Foundation, and should be breaking the doors down of the foundation to get the centre to get advice on the future. I'd also like to congratulate the winner for his and their link to the work on ethnicity and social mobility, both of which issues are fundamentally important in my firm's life and future. We have diversity champions. We meet regularly. We're not. We are from a wide group of people, and we see the importance and value. So now I'll hand back to you, sir, for the presentation of the award.
David, thank you very much indeed. So before I announce the winner, there is somebody who's been commended for the 2017 Noon Award, and that is Kaylee Bateman. Is Kaylee here? Unfortunately, I think Kaylee's not here. She is the head of digital content at We Are the City and head of We Are Tech Women. They have an event today, but to tell you about Kaylee, she's got a formidable personal track record in highlighting the participation of women in technology. She's carried into her work in We Are the City, the free centralised hub for professional women who want to progress in their careers, enhance their skills and build their external networks. Women's participation in technology is an issue which has raised to the top of public concern in the past year, not only highlighting the need for skill development, but in recognition of the still considerable gender disparity in tech. So our congratulations go to Kaylee Bateman. But this year's winner of the Noon Award is somebody I'm sure many of us will know and have heard of and admired. It is Raj Tulsiani, Chief Executive Officer of Green Park. Raj, are you here? Now, Green Park, under Raj's direction, has led the way in increasing opportunities for BAME executives to reach the top of businesses. Under his leadership, Green Park have developed recruitment and shortlisting approaches designed to reach the full talent pool. They've also worked to raise the debate in public and policy making in Parliament and in the media. Raj has helped launch a new social enterprise called DRIVE, Diversity Recruitment Institute for Value and Excellence. Top marks for a good acronym there. Chaired by Baroness Jan Royal, with the aim of effecting an extra 150,000 hiring choices over the next 5 years. Raj is a special advisor to the Prime Minister's Social Mobility Implementation Office and contributed to the Parker Review, the Davis Review and the McGregor-Smith Review. The award recognises the range of his personal commitment above and beyond his business engagement. So will you congratulate the winner of this year's Noon Award, Raj Tulsiani.